Kolams and rangolis, a special feature of our Indian culture. They are always drawn for all the festivals, Diwali or Pongal or any other important festival in our country. And these columns are very beneficial because completing a column increases one's creativity and concentration as it requires a lot of focus and patience to draw a column, and it also reduces the stress and improves the brain activity. It's a very good exercise for those who put the column, because when they bend and put the column, their stress is relieved and their backbone is also strengthened. And in the olden days in villages, they used to first sprinkle the cow dung dissolved water, and then they used to draw columns with rice flour, because the cow dung removes all the unwanted insects and the bacteria from the atmosphere, and it also purifies the air around them. And the ladies who draw the columns in the early morning, they get to breathe in the fresh air. But nowadays it's not so safe to draw a column in the early morning, and there's a lot of chain snatching things are going on. But otherwise, it's a very great exercise. And drawing the geometrical design is to welcome the goddess Lakshmi and drive away all the evil from the house. It also helps to keep the waist and the back in perfect shape. So, many of my friends have sent me the rangolis and kolam. There is a slight difference between the rangoli and kolam, because rangoli is a free flowing art. They can just draw with the free hand. Whereas kolam, they are having lot of dots and some geometric patterns, and the dots are joined with lines or loops or gestures, and it can go on and on for infinite shape. And columns are supposed to bring in good luck and prosperity and good mental status and also positive energy in the house. Mrs. Meenakshi Ramakrishnan, who is sitting there near her columns, she was an ex teacher and she is enjoying her hobbies and her life now in her retired life, and she has sent all the columns. And I thank each and every one of them who has sent me the columns for the channel. To name a few, Mrs. Gomati Meenakshi Sundaram and Mrs. Vidya SAYINATH and Mrs. Priya Narayan and also Mrs. Satyavati Ramanathan and Mrs. Usha Sitapati, and my friends Mrs. Kanchana and Mrs. Saroja Hariharan, etc. They are all experts in drawing both rangoli as well as the columns, and some of them draw Sidku columns. That Sidku column is the one which is more complicated than the normal columns. It has got lots of dots and other stuff which has to be combined in a specific way to get the particular pattern, and that they say it helps scientifically, and those ladies become experts in problem solving. And this drawing columns in villages, they also help in planning and also in teamwork, because many ladies will join and then they will finish one column by taking one corner for each. In this way, this is also a food for crows, ants, and squirrels, etc., when they draw them with rice flour. And it's one of the Pancha Maha Yajna, and this is called Bhuta Yajna, because we are sharing our food with all the living beings. So, the spirit of sharing with all living beings is called Bhuta Yajna. So, Mahaperiyava used to insist that all the columns should be drawn only with rice flour and not the one which we are using nowadays called mugumavu, which is some chemical powder which is not good for all the insects. If it is drawn with rice flour, it is good for them to eat and they survive. So, to bring good luck, prosperity, and to welcome Mahalakshmi, who is the goddess of wealth, the ladies draw excellent columns, and it shows their creativity and it shows their imagination, it shows their patience, it shows their brain activity, and as it needs lot of focus and patience to draw a column. And I thank each and every one of them who has sent me the columns. For example, this is one of the columns sent by my friend Mrs. Saroja Hariharan, who is an expert in drawing as if it has been measured with scale. She will draw such perfect designs. So every one of them has sent me a beautiful columns, and I'm sorry I'm not able to narrate exactly as per their column because there are lots and lots of columns. This channel, as I've said many times, has been started by an intuition given by Mahapariva, is going on very well with the support of many volunteers who send their creative works, their poems, their talks, and their interviews, and so many other things which are very useful to all the subscribers. I do thank Mrs. Lavanya, Mrs. Usha Sitapati, and Mrs. Kanchana Ramanathan, who has already sent her columns in the earlier video, and to Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi Rao and Mrs. Jamuna for sending their columns. And my sincere thanks to all of them who had supported my channel with their artwork, and my best wishes to each and every one of them. Thank you.